So the question is, can you do it on a cold, wet, windy night? On a Friday, though, against Stoke? The answer was no. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news, where we somehow tried to review probably one of the most dullest games I've seen. I know it was a pre-season or a mid-pre-season, or I don't know what the official terminology is of this one. But it wasn't great, guys. I've got to be honest. I just got to say thank you to all the guys in the watch along yesterday, and the girls, of course, because you kept me entertained, and hopefully we kept each other entertained through it as we trundled our way to the finish line. Look, it was quite surprising to see that so many like established players were playing. I thought potentially we would see the youth squad come out. But Coops, give him credit, he put out a very decentish looking team with a couple of the youngsters blooded in the first half, and then obviously we had the full switch into the second half. But I've got to say, Stoke dominated pretty much both halves. We scored with Morgan Gibbs-White, my boy. Is he still my favourite now that Scarpa's here? We'll talk about that tonight in the Forest Forum. By the way, there'll be a Forest Forum tonight. I think it'll be about 9:30 tonight. So if you guys are looking for something to do on a Saturday night, and like me and the fellow panelists have no life, feel free to join us. But anyway, that's a side note. But yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White got the goal. It was a good goal. It was a good bit of build up from Dennis on the left-hand side, cutting in. That's where I like to see Dennis having a shot. Bobbled a bit, came to Morgan Gibbs-White, and he slots it in nicely. But apart from that, the first half was a bit of a dead rubber, to be honest. Stoke dominated, hit the bar, had a couple of guillotine chances that they didn't put away. But it's not really the result that matters. It was more the performance that concerned me. And this is me being honest. You want to call me negative, call me negative. But I go back to the Coventry game pre-season. Okay, the weather was a lot warmer, but it just had vibes off that. And I remember sitting there after the Coventry game thinking to myself, it's the first game. It's a preseason. No one cares about preseason. It doesn't matter. Especially at that stage of the development of the team, you'd think, yeah, that's fine. But this game yesterday had a few similarities to that Coventry game. And we are several months down the road from where we were against Coventry. And I honestly, if I'm being objective and true to, what I say I do on this channel, I have to say we looked like a team that had just been thrown together again for the first time. There was no passing rhythm. There was no, good build up or anything like that. There's a couple of individual bits and bobs here. I thought Mbasso looked good. Again, why he's not had a chance in the team, I don't know. And in the second half, guys, the rumors were true. There is actually a person who is physical, who's 3D, who exists, and comes under the name of Bidet. And he looked okay. Again, he was played out of position, out at right back. The poor guy must have just been so excited to see green grass under his feet and a Forest kit that wasn't a blue training kit. It must have shocked him to see the red color itself. It was crazy. But he played like he enjoyed it. But overall, the game was dire. It wasn't one, I didn't feel for the fans because they were obviously lucky to go see the Forest. But in that freezing weather condition, I mean, hats off to anyone who went last night. And let me know how the atmosphere was for you guys there. Did you enjoy it? It was quite a different occasion at a university. Not as good as the ones we have in Nottingham, but it was still quite interesting to see. Look, a couple of good things to take away from the game were the performance of the youth kid players. I thought they all actually did really well. And also just to see that the formation wasn't reverting back to a back three. I was very worried when I saw three centre-backs named, be it Worrell, Bollywood, and Mbasso. I thought, hang on here, what's Coops doing? Are we seeing the transgression or the transformation. Transgression, even no, transformation's the right word. Back into a back three. Luckily, we didn't see that. So for me, I take that as a huge, massive, massive positive in terms of what you can take away from the game. But guys, I'm not going to flower it up. It was freaking boring to watch, man. It really was. I had like 100 screens on in front of me. I had the Forest match on one. I had the Brazil match on another. I had the Serbia-Switzerland match on another. You're a lot chatting to me in chat. And I was honestly half an eye, not even one eye, was on the Forest match the second half because it was just getting so boring. But I've got a shout out to Freuler. Another positive we can take away from yesterday is Freuler. And it's a happy positive and a frustrating positive at the same time, because what a goal he scored. Lovely to see Switzerland going through. But why was he where he was? Because he plays higher up the pitch for Switzerland. And it's something I've cried out for from the moment we've signed him. I don't understand why we're playing him as this deep lining CDM almost in the team, where his strengths are more towards that middle third of the pitch and then adventuring up towards the edge of the box and kind of being the assist of the assist, so to speak. But he was brilliant yesterday. I thought Switzerland in general have been brilliant this World Cup, and I think Freuler has really impressed. And I hope that, you know, the management at Forest are watching the performances of some of the guys at the World Cup. And for me, Freuler stood out head and shoulders above the rest of our players that have gone there. And they're looking at him thinking, hang on, maybe if we push him higher up the park, he's going to cause a bit of havoc there with his passing range, with his footballing brain, with his knowledge. I would love to see him play higher up the pitch. Now, obviously, we won't see him for a little while. Hopefully for his, you know, from his point of view, we don't see him until towards the end of the month, which will mean Switzerland have had a great World Cup. I don't think they will. I think they maybe get to the quarterfinals, but he is a player that I've backed from the moment we've signed him. I know he split the fan base, but surely now fans are kind of starting to see what we've been talking about in terms of the qualities that he can bring. And hopefully we see him playing a bit higher up the pitch. So that's another positive to take away from yesterday, even though he wasn't playing. But I'm really clutching at straws, guys, to stay positive. I want to go in to the resets, or whatever you want to call it, come the end of December, when we go away to Blackburn and the Scum Man U, and really just have that excitement and anticipation and yearningness to kind of see the Premier. I have that now. I just really want to see a good preseason where we can maybe get a couple of wins out of it, build some momentum. I know it's a divisive topic when you talk about preseason and does it matter or does it not matter. I used to always be of the opinion it doesn't matter, who cares, it's a preseason. But if you look and you're honest about the preseason we had pre the Premier League starting, it wasn't very good. You know, we lost to Coventry, we lost to Union Berlin, we had a draw against Valencia, and then we beat the other Berlin team who were crap. But there was never really that consistency, and I just thought, yeah, once we get into the Premier League, and the Notts County game, my God, that was dire. But then you look at the teams like Arsenal, who had a really good preseason, and a lot of people saying, it's only preseason, you know, what does it matter to them? But you saw that being carried straight into the Premier League, and they picked up where they left off from the preseason. And we, in a sense, picked up where we left off from the preseason. And that's why I feel that this mid-preseason is a lot more important than a preseason. And we shouldn't just be saying, it's a friendly, it's a preseason. We've got to start building some momentum and start building some kind of head of steam and really go into that Blackburn game. Like I've always joked about the Mickey Mouse Cup. I know it's offended some of you in the comments calling it a Mickey Mouse Cup with us winning it. I still do think it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, but that's my opinion. But I really do want to see a massive performance against Blackburn so we can carry some momentum into the Premier League. I think that's more important. I'd probably consider playing a decently strength team against that. I don't think we will, because the Man U game is a few days past it. But I think that game has a lot of significance and a lot of importance now. One thing I will say with a bit of tongue in cheek was about my boy Scarpa. Now, Scarpa, I'm almost putting him as my favorite player. I know it's weird to say. I'm sorry, Morgan. I love you. You're still right up there for me. But I just love his character. I love his personality. A lot of people are trying to liken him to Jesse Lingard. I just think it's night and day compared to Jesse Lingard's personality, because he comes into a team with that personality, with a little touch of arrogance, which I love, because I'm a little arrogant prick as well. But I just love that he can do it with the backing of the awards he's had this year, of the goals he scored this year, and of the assists he's got this year. And he just looks like he's having fun. He's got I feel like, how can I describe Scarpa? A lot of players come into Forest and the first thing they talk about is the history. They talk about, how excited they are. And it feels sometimes a bit robotic and a bit repetitive. We all love our history. But I feel that players that come in sometimes play on that to score one with the fans. Whereas with Scarpa, he's just taking the piss, isn't he? He's just messing around, having some fun. And I just see that as such a different character to any signing we've had this summer. I just feel he's come with this air of aura around him. And, I hope I don't live to regret it, because I've been watching so much of him ever since, the Rumours started with him and we were going to get him, etc. And everything I see about him, I just love. And I really hope he can put that onto the pitch for us and really perform and deliver. And obviously, it's all going to depend on how Cooper deals with him and treats him and, where he plays him. I'm not talking about slapping him around or anything, but in terms of, does he play him? Does he give him the freedom on the pitch to do what he's done over in Brazil? We're going to have to wait and see. And does he really hit the ground running very quickly at Nottingham Forest? Or is it going to be a case of he's blooded and slow? Look, we covered it yesterday. If you want to go and see kind of the full details of that, check it out yesterday. But another positive I'll take from going back to the Stoke game is that Scarpa was probably the best player in that stadium yesterday. I mean, what a guy. He's flown over from Brazil. It's a long flight. He's gone into at London. It's not like he came in at East Midlands Airport. Come up the M1. And what's he done? Has he gone to his hotel bed and gone to sleep? No. He's then gone to Forest. I think he's done his medical already. I don't think they've announced it to us. I expect that maybe tonight or tomorrow. And then he's gone and watched the game. I mean, I hope he didn't watch the game and was spending most of his time talking to the fans. Dave, if you're watching this, still don't like you. But it's clear to see that he's already probably one of the most talented players we have by a mile. And we have to bed him in very quickly into that team. But look, overall, the game means nothing, I know, but it does mean something. You can't lose 2-1 to a crappy Stoke team. And even Cooper's interview afterwards, he kind of fessed up about how crap a game it was. The only thing I didn't like about what he said was it was good to see mistakes or something like that. I get what he was trying to allude to. You kind of wish he'd said that there were mistakes made and we will learn from them, rather than him saying it's good to see mistakes, because you don't want to see mistakes on a football pitch. And if you do, you want to learn from them, and you'd rather they happen in a friendly than in the Premier League. I guess that's what he meant by it, but I don't think he worded it too well. But overall, we just move on to the next match. We see what happens. And I think the way he was talking is going to be the final 2 matches where he's going to kind of put the gauntlet down, shall we say. So I expect another dire match in our game on Tuesday, and then it should pick up in the final 2 matches. But we'll be here to talk you all through it. I'm freezing, guys. I'm literally standing here with my arms crossed trying to stay warm. So I'm going to wrap the video up there. But those are my thoughts on it. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, or what you agree with or disagree with in the comments down below. Don't forget, we'll have the Forest Forum tonight at 9:30-ish. I've just got to check with the rest of the panel how they're looking time-wise. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, be it yesterday, be it Scarpa watch. If you want the latest on Scarpa, don't forget to go follow me on Twitter, Wolverine8125. But yeah, it's going to be fun and there's going to be energy. And maybe we'll make an announcement about stuff that's coming up on the channel as well. Before you go, guys, if you'd be kind enough to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we will see you tonight. I forgot what it's called now, in the Forest Forum. Come on, you Reds.